Oh my god. What it do, everybody? Well, got another IGNARIST take today, but I got a little different today. We're not going to look at articles. We're going to be looking at videos. And I'm doing a trailer reaction for y'all as well. Because they finally released the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. And the new one. And I saw it once. I saw it literally when the first 30 minutes it came out, uploaded on YouTube. And my initial reaction, I did not feel any different about it, honestly. I'm not going to lie, I really don't. I mean, I don't know. We'll get into it, I suppose, but I saw that, so I just couldn't help but, find that to react to. And then a host on CNN, Zakaria, I think his name is. Yeah. Farid. But yeah, he breaks conventional establishment status quo complicitness, which I kind of threw me a curveball. So I wanted to save that as a clip. I was actually listening to Kyle Kalinske do a commentary on it, but I was like, you know what? I kind of want to make a few words myself, but I don't want to spend time finding original clips, so I just kind of pulled it from his. Thank you, Kyle. Anyway, and then we have a clip on Vosh. Yeah, there's a little clip about if the Nazis win America. Okay, so I already have problems because, dude, this isn't the Man in High Castle, bro. Just saying. Anyway, then we have I remember the last IGNARIST take. I kind of commented a little bit about a tweet that Benjamin Dixon made. Well, he actually did some comments of his own. And then there's a cop that is trying to arrest someone for literally eating a sandwich. So, you know what? I think, I'm going to put that next to my Sonic one. We're going to view those two first. The Sonic trailer and then that. Anyway, I want to get some that legalized herbal product that you can consume by igniting it with hot flames and stuff. We're going to do that real quick. And we'll take a look at this shit. And then we'll look at everything else, because, oh boy, what a treat. We gotta seize the treats, you know what I mean? I look up at that IGNARIST, some weird definitional shit. I feel like, honestly, it's wrong. I don't think that's a fucking noun. I just kind of realized that. I'm pretty sure all this time it really isn't. Whatever. Anyway. I think an IGNARIST would be... Whatever. I'm not... Oh, wow. Now I'm starting to think about that. God damn it. Anyway, whatever. But, I've been looking at it, and I was just like, I gotta reference that a couple times every now and then. Besides, I haven't done, a straight-up, delve in... I actually forgot. I was gonna pull it... whatever. Too late now. I had something else I was gonna pull this video, but too late. Whatever. We got what we got. My goodness. I'm just... Man. So, to kind of prep myself for the Sonic trailer, I don't know if anyone remembers how the Sonic before looked, but it was bad. It was just outright abhorrently garbage. Alright? Well, now they got a new trailer for the new one. I guess, dude, I can't believe... Dude, alright, look. I just have to say, man, this movie really is going to be a flop. I really do think it is, because the initial trailer was so bad that they had to pull it and rework it. Then they had to basically redo the movie to some extent, entirely. Not like every little little detail, but they had to fundamentally change a lot, especially with the Sonic character. And rightly so. But this new one, I think it's just because of the old one. I think it's just because the original looked so hideous. I think people are giving this way too much praise for what it's worth. I really do think this, because I still think it's terrible. I still think it looks just awful. It is better. I'll give it that much. This is actually like better, but it's fucking awful. Anyway, let's get to the main screen. Let's full screen this bitch. Let's just, you know what? I'm not gonna full screen it because I'm worried about copyright. Like, I'm worried about even trailers copyrighting me, dude. So, I'm nervous. I'm actually nervous now. Little Mr. Sunshine. I'll just let his smug face just go into the happy place. Okay. Yeah, this is why I need a bowl, because I'm nervous. I'm actually nervous. Like, I feel like just showing this image is gonna copyright me, man. Like, YouTube is so bad. It's just terrible. Like, YouTube is such a broken website. It really, like, I wanted to pull something about that, but, I mean, actually, it's right there. This section of DFF, the TOS tyranny, they kind of delved into it pretty good enough there, so if you want to know a little bit about the bullshit, I guess, and the reason why it's so fucking abhorrently terrible, just watch that. Anyway, just chilling out DFF because I fucking love the podcast. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna get this loaded, smoke this, and play the trailer. Unless it gets too bad for me, it's where I have to say something.
I'm Sonic, a little ball of...
Okay, he look, alright. This first image, okay, I started staring at my soul. Okay, look, see, I couldn't stare into it long enough. See? That shit stared in my soul, not as much, but it did. Like, I was actually able to kind of hold my ground there for a second. I'm like, alright, okay, you're still staring into my soul. Like, his nose does look better. Like, he actually does look better. Like, I'm not gonna say he is still abhorrently terrible, but he still looks bad. We'll let it play. I don't know, man. I don't know. CGI, everything's CGI these days. I mean, I guess it's exceptional for this film, but whatever.
In an extremely handsome package.
No, oh yeah, handsome package. An extremely handsome package. I'm gonna be pausing this often because I'm nervous. Anyway, look, you're not a handsome package, okay? Like, I'm a furry. Like, when my, like, fur vibes start flinging up handsome and shit, it ain't you, dude. It ain't you. Alright? It ain't you. Look, like, you're marginally better, okay? You're marginally better.
On my planet, people were always after my powers. So I came to yours. It gets a little lonely.
And he's reading The Flash. Yeah, you know, reference to The Flash. Okay.
Okay. I am living my best life on Earth.
So he's just like, oh my, okay. What? See, this is cringe. I just fucking, what the fuck? What is this? It's no better. This trailer's no better than the last. We're not even 30 seconds in. Let's just skip to the Jim Carrey shit. You know what? Let's just skip to the point where he's literally playing baseball by himself. Okay, you know what? No, we're watching this one. This is actually bad. This is legitimately fucking bad. If anyone hasn't seen this, I'm shutting up for this. Hold on. I haven't even loaded my bowl, like, because I can't. This is just, maybe I'm just too much of a pessimist, but, and like, the entertainment industry in Hollywood have just, like, basically, like, raped movies to oblivion. Probably shouldn't have said that because YouTube, but anyway, like, destroyed, like, what movies and shit are for me. Like, besides some movies like The Joker and, you know, some other films that are coming out, like The Irishman actually doesn't look bad. Ford vs. Ferrari doesn't look too bad. 1917 don't look too bad. But I'm a sucker for war films, so I like to look at those and point out historical inaccuracies. And if there's a lot, then that's when I get pissed off at them. Unless it's like Patton. Like, if you've seen the movie Patton, like, they literally have, like, the German Panzers are literally M60 Patton tanks. They're American Patton tanks just painted, like, Africa Corps tan with just German marks on them. That's it. They're Panzers. Like, Well, I guess Panzer is a German word for tank, but it's just like they're the German Panzers of what? No, it's just like that's just absurd. And honestly, it's the '60s. You can't really like quip them that hard over it. But nowadays we can make replicas. We have the ability to like at least implement some accuracy with shit. But that's just my own quip with war films. But whatever, that's total digression. But like with this fucking movie, like when it comes to this shit, like, I don't know. Like, I've been if anyone watches my streams, like, Robert sometimes watching movies in the background. And sometimes I'm not doing them when doing streams when he's actually watching movies, because I'll watch them with him. And, like, we've been watching, like, a bunch of various, like, we saw Child's Play. There was, a few others that we've been seeing and shit. And also newer ones. Like, we saw, last one was, like, Mission Impossible or some shit. Mission Impossible Fallout or whatever. And like I'm starting to kind of realize that like there is so much trope of just like one-liners or just quick little like, hey, let's try to be funny but we're not. Or I don't know. Anyway, this is actually one of those tropes this is like the trope I'm talking about right here, by the way.
Let the place Sonic. Let the pitcher's mound also Sonic. Ugh, I can't with that guy.
Yeah, that's supposed to be funny. That's supposed to be funny. That's supposed to be fucking funny. And you want to know what okay. So, in the original trailer, he literally just like did like some mile or like I guess a 10-mile dash, for Sonic that made the power go out. You want to know how the power goes out in this movie? It's literally him playing literally by himself fucking baseball. That's how the fucking power goes out in this movie. What? See? Blah, 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 look, power's out. EMP, boom. Anomaly, boom. And then, here's that infamous scene. Oh. Did I just... Hold on. No. That was a literal... Dude, did you see the orange cap on that? I saw an orange tip on that gun. Oh my god, they do. They couldn't even get a real one. They couldn't. He literally is just holding. Oh my god. This fucking sucks. Fuck this trailer, dude. How? It's like the polar opposite of this is all in the first 1 minute. Not even. First 40 seconds. I don't want to play the rest of this. I don't. God. Hold on. Let's go back like a few seconds to where we can actually get a good view of that. Let me slow it down so it's easy. Oh, this is probably going to be bad with the sound. Oh my god. Oh my god. I feel like this movie's like destroying my brain. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is that? What is... I didn't even notice this the first time. What the fuck? Fuck you, movie. What is this? Oh my god. If this movie somehow is successful... If this movie is successful, dude... Oh my god. What the fuck? What is this? What the hell? His face is my reaction when I first we all have made this face with the first trailer, but now I'm just like in a more disappointed face. Like we all had this, but now I'm just disappointed. Like they should have listened. They should have actually listened. But no. They basically like worked. They just basically looked at Sonic, rewrote some of the story, and made it even more shittier. That's pretty much what they did. Like, this is fucking terrible. This is terrible. Honestly, I'm actually thinking the story plot line is actually worse than how it initially probably is. Like, the worst thing about the original one was mainly the character design, amongst it looking like some terrible attempt of being a schlocky fucking arcade game character, you know, Sonic. Like, and I'm not even that, like, I haven't even really played the Sonic games that much, but even I, like, feel for the Sonic fans, you know? Like, I feel for them. Oh, man. I know there was, like, a period back in, like, 2016 or some shit where, like, making fun of the Sonic fanboys was, like, a big thing because of the cringe that came out of it, but now I just feel for them. I just feel for them now. Because, God, he looks sad. He actually looks like a sad, depressed, like, sentient being that wants to die. Like, he just looks like he wants to end his own suffering. So basically, like, you know what, let's, here.
Morning, my
Oh, I forgot I put it on 1.5 speed. G-ew, good. That was bad. You know what, hold on, let's listen to that. Let's listen to it.
world chum, Mr. Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Robotnik. He sounds like he's all, like, slushed out on a Quaalude, dude. Sound like it took a few benzos before he's... Oh, my God. Okay, that was worth it. That was worth it. All right, that made me laugh. All right, you know what? Whatever. Oh, my God. I had to alter it myself to actually make it kind of funny. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else for me to react to this. I don't know. I'm done. I'm done with this. The first time I was kind of put speechless in a shock, but now I can't. I just can't. And we didn't even watch the full thing. We watched like not even 1 minute of it, and we skipped through most of that. Like, there's I would go to the last scene, but no, I'm already done. I don't want to continue the pain. Okay, well, this one I feel comfortable full screening, so because I don't feel like I'll get caught. I already feel nervous playing just those snippets of the trailer, but whatever. It's done. The pain has ended. And here is a cop literally like. Okay, this is honestly, like, amusing but stupidly angering at the same time. I'm not kidding. Like, this is, like, what the fuck? But at the same time, it's just, like, it really is just stupid, dude. You know what? That background that I'm looking at here, where is it? What is it? I'm trying to find it. What the fuck? It's not the bars. Where is it? Image, right? Yeah. Let's get kind of annoyed by that. I want to get rid of it. Just make it... I just don't know what... I'll just let it be a void. It will be a empty void over here. Boom. I feel like I should just make all this a void now. Just nothing but void. Empty void. Anyway. I'm getting ahead of myself. Well, I'm not even getting ahead of myself. I'm just tangenting. I'm just going off tangents as I load up, I need it, honestly, for after that trailer. I mean... I'm kind of, like, if y'all got a bowl you can load real quick, do it, you know? Because honestly, I feel like you probably need it after all that pain of just the snippets of the trailer. They couldn't even let him get, like... They couldn't, like, paint over the orange cap of their fucking toy gun? And how much of a budget does that movie have, by the way? And they couldn't get even, like, a replica gun? They got a fucking toy one with an absurdly fat orange cap on the front of it. It's a fail. That alone already tells me enough about this fucking movie, especially if it has. You know what? Hold on. I want to look at the fucking budget of this movie. I'm gonna do that really quick because. Well, I gotta exit out full screen real quick to do that. Blah, bop. Alright, I'll put this back in full screen. And go to tab. The Gurger. Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Budget. $90 million. $90 million. The Sonic movie made fucking 90. This movie, not made, the budget is estimated at around $90 million. And they couldn't afford a fucking real gun, or at least some form of a gun that looked realistic enough. I know it's such a tiny little quip, but that really shows where their priorities went with that fucking money. Wow. Fucking dumb. Can't look at details and shit, you know. But, oh, I guess we'll just look at the detailed Sonics. That's about it. Honestly, oh, God. They actually have comparisons of the two different Sonics, and, I mean, there really is a difference. I mean, there legitimately is a difference. And, yes, the newer one is marginally better. But, honestly, it's not that better. I really don't think it is. Anyway, that was... I just had to really, like... Ben Schwartz? You're the fucking Sonic dude? God, your voice is annoying. I already don't like you. And your face is annoying. Like, I just saw a glimpse of his face, and he has, like, this annoying fucking face. That just... It has, like, that Ted Cruz vibe. If you got the Ted Cruz vibe, that means you have a punchable face. So, yeah. You got that vibe, man. I don't like it. Anyway, let's watch a cop try to arrest a guy for fucking eating a sandwich.
You are detained and you're not free to go.
Kind of loud.
Bro, you come up here and fuck with me. You single me out out of all these people. You're eating. Bro, so what?
You're eating.
So what? I tried. You'll be demonstrating on work.
Look, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This guy had, like, I'm just glad that. So, coughing. Anyway, overall, I have to say that they, like, in this entire altercation, nothing happens. They're just, there's no, like, from what I could tell, there's no actual fight or anything. I actually don't know the outcome of what happened. I don't know if the dude actually got detained or arrested or if he was eventually let go. But this is, like, the most calmest instigation by a cop I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, this is literally the most calmest aggregation by an officer I have ever seen. He's just casually just standing there, looking like acting like he's the fucking Terminator T-800 or some shit. He even has, like, the whole look and get up, like, on the, like, he's got like the shade. He's trying to mimic himself as a fucking Terminator, dude. You could tell. You could just tell in his face. And he's just, I stand here and I just hold. Yeah, you are detained for literally eating. Yeah, you must be machine. Machines don't eat.
It's a violation of California law. I have the right to...
Did you hear that? Apparently eating is a violation of California law. So I guess if you're in California, you're not allowed to eat. So, better starve. Look at him. He's just like, really, bro?
Are you going to cooperate?
Yeah,
You cooperate, leave me the fuck alone? You're going to go to jail. I'm not going to jail for eating a fucking sandwich? No.
To jail for eating a fucking sandwich? He's like a jail for resisting arrest. Yeah, this is totally resisting arrest. He's just holding on to his bag, sitting there, continuing to eat his sandwich while he's talking to you. Like, you'll notice, like, he takes a few bites in the course of him just talking with him.
I'm resisting arrest. You are resisting. I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. Let my bag go.
Just let
Let it go, bro.
Bro, what is this nigga doing, bro? Let my bag go. Bro, bring him up here then.
stop.
I'm not doing nothing. I'm going to continue my sandwich, bro. I do this shit every fucking morning. Every morning, bro. Let my bag go.
Yeah, why is there a store downstairs selling food if we're not allowed to eat up here?
So I guess she was saying there's a food restaurant or a store or something down below. I guess right here is like the stairway, I'm assuming. And they sell food. I'm guessing that's what that is. So, yeah. Why is there a place that's selling food to go above below a train station where people are probably eating literally all the fucking time. Like, what? Like, this is why fucking people don't like cops, man. Because they do shit like this. Or at least you'll get cops like this, they'll do shit like this. They'll try to find some reason to just, like, fill some quota of, like, yep, I detained my X amount of people of the day. Yep. You know, here's the reasons, got it up, blah, 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 you know. It's just some fucking quota they probably have to fill or some shit. And they don't have anything better to do. Like, bruh, do you literally have nothing better to do with your time right now? Like, seriously. Like, do you have, like, a potential domestic abuse case you could probably investigating, or, like, some actual, like, robbery that may or may not be happening, or potential mugging that could be happening, like a couple, like, there is all sorts of random shit that you could be doing far more better with your time. Like, couldn't you be investigating, like, some human trafficking ring? I mean, if you're in California, and I'm assuming probably an urban area, there is potential for that shit. So, why aren't you doing your fucking job, bro? You're not doing your job, you're just being a fucking annoying prick. And, like, it's just so dumb. Like, what? Anyway, let me just continue playing the video, because you'll actually, like, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know, it's just ridiculous.
Does it not say on, there's no signs here that mark that we can't eat on the platform? Where is there a sign up here that says we can't eat on the platform? Where is there a sign up here? Where is there a sign up here, sir? Excuse me. Where is a sign up here that says that we can't eat on the platform? We know that we can't eat on the train.
People come up here and eat every fucking day, drinking coffee and all that shit. Let my bag go, bruh.
Is there a chance
You ain't got no, bro. You ain't got no.
Is that guy back there in the background holding a coffee? Like, dude, I'm pretty sure there's a dude right here holding a, like, I don't know. I can't tell exactly. He's either just holding his jacket or holding a mug of Joe, you know, like a cup of Joe next to, like, it's too pixelated for me to really tell, but it looks like he's holding something. Either a phone, a cup of Joe, or something. But if it's a cup of Joe, why are you dealing with this guy? Oh. And if we want to do the whole, like, race thing, by the way, which, like, that guy's black too. Why aren't you detaining him? He's drinking a cup of Joe. Why aren't you detaining him, bro? What you doing, bro? Oh, he has a suit, so he might have some influence and power, bro. Is that it? Is that it? Me? Whatever. I don't care about that shit. But you know, like, because honestly, like, what the fucking point is this? It's like the only reason I can literally think of why this may be an issue is if, like, maybe, like, people who are homeless are eating here and just leaving trash around. But I don't know. Looking at the background of this train station, it don't really look too dirty. Like, I don't know. From what I can tell, it's not looking super dirty and shit. You know what I mean?
That says we can't eat on the platform. Where is there a sign?
I'm not even seeing cigarette butts all over the place. Like, I mean, shit. Like, the Max lines in, around Portland and shit, you'll see that all the fucking time.
Here.
Like,
where is there?
Like, look, see, it's a pretty nice maintained area. What's the problem? Like, what is the literal problem here? Like, legitimately, what? There's nothing. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong going on here. Besides this guy being a dick.
We know that we can't eat on the train.
Oh, there's a body cam.
Come up here and eat every fucking day, drinking coffee and all that shit. Let my bag go, bruh.
Is there a chance
You ain't got no, bro. You ain't got no, bro. You ain't got no reasonable cause to fuck with
Is
me.
there a chance you could allow me to talk?
Bro, let go of my
Is
bag.
there any chance you can allow me to talk? And I mean, I'm gonna at least give this guy some, like, the most marginal of credit. It's like an atom. Like, literally, maybe not even that, like a proton's worth of credit for at least not being such an asshole of literally detaining and, like, putting him on the ground. Maybe it's because there's a large crowd of people in the background, but that's just, I don't know. I feel like if this was a more secluded area, I feel like this guy would be a little bit more instigative. But whatever. I mean, this is just them showing the force of power because, I mean, at the end of the day, this entire system has a fundamental philosophy it abides by when it comes to the laws and shit. Because there's honestly two sets of laws. Laws for the rich and elites who are run the status quo, and the laws for the rest of us. And these type of people are the ones making sure that we abide by our laws, and that, you know, if Even if the rich and powerful break theirs, they can let them slide. But these are the type of guys that just keep us in check with that shit. And I guess keeping us in check is to make sure we don't fucking eat publicly, I guess, because apparently, supposedly, that's against the law, even though this is like, it's a literal bodily function. How do you make bodily functions illegal? Like, it's like if you're like, oh, like, if you're like in a building or some shit, it's like, farting is prohibited in this building. How do you regulate that? Like, how do you regulate a bodily function? Like, oh, like, you know, if so, like, because there's no way. It's like, you know, with this example, like, oh, you know, farts are prohibited in this building, you know. How are you going to actually know who it is and who isn't? Because there could be plenty of people releasing some silence ones, and you always hear about the silent but deadly, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you might get the one-off, you know, the big fatty, but then, you know, oh, that guy gets singled out, but there's probably been plenty of other people who have been, you know, blowing some silent whistles out there, you know, being quiet or, you know, blowing it off or whatever, or maybe you're just not even enforcing it. But, oh, someone just goes a little absurdity too much, like a, you know, if it's a little too loud, oh, no, then we have a problem. Like, what, was this dude eating his sandwich too loud? Was like, oh, God, this fucking sandwich, damn, fool, damn, motherfucker, oh, the sandwich, oh, yes, like what, was he just being orgasmically blissed out of his mind over the sandwich or something? Like, how is a bodily function and just, you know, reacting to it a fucking problem? Like, how is this an issue? What problem is there here? There's none. It's just this cop wants to be an instigative prick because he has a power trip, because he feels like, oh, he's all that in a bag of chips because he has this stupid fucking badge, which is probably plastic. Oh my God. Get fucking over yourself, you egotistical bitch. My God. Ugh. Stupid. Oh my goodness. Anyway, gonna take a little pausation on that one because, oh my goodness. I mean, I don't feel like there's not much else for me to say. I mean, also, you're not really missing anything else. Like, he literally goes on to say that, like, it's against the law to eat out here under California statute law or something like that. And it's just like, no, it's not. I can guarantee, like, Carl Rove, he's in like some of my streams in the chats from time to time and shit. He's told me a story where literally he said that a cop once told like some protesters outside of a public courthouse that it's trespassing because it's privately owned property by the government. Notice how much of a fucking like fail that is, because guess what? Government property is public property. It's publicly funded and publicly owned. That's what government property is, you dumb fuck. Unless it explicitly says no trespassing, you're free to walk there as you please. Like, so, and you're free to protest there as you please. So, some cops aren't even trained accurately on what the fucking law is. And if they're supposed to enforce it, don't you think they should know it? So if some dumb fuck is like, oh yeah, it's against the law for someone to be eating in this train station here, you know, it's just like, oh, you know, and that's not actually a fucking law, then it's like, oh, you know, now we're just enforcing bullshit and not even real laws, and if now we're going to be detaining people unlawfully at that point. So, like, our entire police, like, I've made this argument plenty of times. This is just another example, a more benign, you know, honestly, let's be fair, it's a little bit more of a benign one, but still, I'd say a pretty severe one regardless, nonetheless. But in the course of cops instigating with people, detaining them, or trying to arrest people, I mean, I'm assuming this guy was let go because on the video it says threatens arrest, not literally arrested or anything. So that's what I'm assuming. But, like, if we're, like, I mean, if they're threatening arrest over laws that don't even exist or are just misconstrued and shit, and then, like, it just shows that our police system needs, and our police forces all around the country need fundamental reform. Like, I'm not going to be one of these dudes that says, "Being all cops, blah, blah," you know, whatever, but, oh my God, you wonder why people hate him so much and why they have such sentiment against them. So, well, example number 800, 400, like, 800, 300 is, I don't know, whatever. Example number ad nauseum, ad infinitum, fucking need 'em. There you go, that makes more sense. I mean, I'm remembering, like, this story. This was a few years back. But it was, like, some story of, like, some Dutch officers, I think. And, like, what happened was like, they got a call because I think, like, the parents were at work, and they had some kids and shit. You know, they're by themselves at work or at home. And, you know, because the parents are off of work, so they can't, you know, attend the kids and shit. And, one of them got a call and, like, hey, I think there's some kids, you know, by themselves at this house. And, like, these two Dutch cops came by. And basically, like, they literally just stayed there and were like, all right, well, let's, you know, let's feed the kids something real quick. You know, let's make some tea and shit. So they kind of did that and literally did their dishes and shit and kind of wiped down the kitchen and whatnot. And basically, like, played the kids for, like, 30 minutes. You know, like with a ball outside in their backyard shit. And then, you know, until the parents came back, which was like shortly after that. And just, yeah, that was about it. It was just like a nonchalant, like, oh, well, you know, the whole idea of being a cop is to protect and serve the community, right? Well, I'm just going to serve the community by making sure the kids are safe. You know, well, might as well. You know, I don't got much else to do because we're Dutch cops. There's not much happening here, you know? So it's just like we're bored out of our minds. So, let's have some tea. Let's just hang out, you know. At least something. So fuck. Just like, man, like, I mean, I know those stories are like a dime a dozen out there, and they're pretty rare at the end of the day. But shouldn't, like, American cops look at that as kind of an example of, like, how we should be looking at our citizens? Like, shouldn't cops see us as people to serve instead of people to keep in line and be fearful of? I mean, to some extent they should, considering the sentiment, but maybe they should use that fear to change themselves from within instead of just cracking us on more because, oh no, that makes things better. That makes the divisions even better. Ugh. Anyway, enough of this cop stuff. Let's actually get to some interesting news that, like, look, I hate mainstream media. I really do. I do. But I also do not like Fareed Zakaria. Fareed. I always think of Raul Menendez from Black Ops 2 when, like, you play as Fareed, and he just, like, I just think, for some reason I think the way he says it, Fareed. Anyway, but I just, like, he threw a curveball, honestly. Like, when I was listening to this earlier, I was like, I don't know if I'm finding myself in disagreement at all. Anyway, I don't know. I'll get into some commentary as we go on with it, but in the meantime, I'll kind of get another bowl lined up for myself in the meantime. I'll pause if I feel like added commentary might be appropriate.
There's an odd growing consensus these days that American democracy needs to be saved by Mark Zuckerberg. People from
I just don't know what consensus people are getting that from. I mean, if you're meaning like the consensus from like the minority left that is PC outrage, let's deplatform right wingers because of, because they might actually have a video. I mean, I mentioned it earlier about, like, oh, because they might take over America, this and that or whatever. So we need to, look up, like, I mean, if you're talking about that, sure, but I don't think that's a unified consensus. I don't think you're going to be finding average Republicans or even like average random Joe independent or Democrat people or non-affiliated or people who are just checked out or even me, finding that as a unified consensus. I'm not looking at that. I don't see anyone around me who identifies as that consensus. That's like one of my only issues so far, really, is that, because I don't know who in the fuck has that as a consensus besides some, Silicon Valley neo-corporatist or whatever.
Elizabeth Warren to Aaron Sorkin are demanding that Facebook stop running obviously false political advertising.
Well, that is a no-no. Because, well, explain.
So let me pose a question. Would everyone be as comfortable if the person deciding what constitutes real news versus fake news were not Zuckerberg, but Rupert Murdoch? It's not a fantasy. In 2005, News Corp bought MySpace, then the leading social network on the planet. Had things worked out differently, it would be Murdoch or a band of Fox News experts who would be determining what counts as legitimate political speech. Are you still comfortable? Broadcast networks cannot censor political ads because doing so would be considered an infringement of free speech on their large public platforms. Cable companies like CNN are not regulated the same way and thus can make their own decisions. Facebook, of course, is a larger platform than all the networks combined. It now serves as a sort of global public square, and surely it should be open to political speech.
And this is why I am against the whole idea of platforms having the idea of like, oh, we should be regulating political advertisements or this and that. And honestly, I'm just against advertising in general. Like, if we're going to be regulating advertising in any sense, we should just be looking at about how those advertisements are distributed, for more so than it in itself. Because let's be real, advertisements is just psychological propagandizing. It's just ways to try to manipulate you to sell you on whatever the advertisement's trying to sell you, whether it's propaganda via politics for political advertisements. So it's trying to sell you a product like Coca-Cola or whatever the fuck, name that. That's the most common one ever. Whether it's trying to win you over to a show or to a movie or a podcast or this or that or whatever. Like, it's all psychological play on some form of propaganda to try to win you over to whatever's trying to sell you. So that's what advertisement is. And honestly, I am against that to some extent, but it's kind of one of those, quote, necessary evils I'm okay with. Like, it can be used beneficially, and I think, it can be an actual productive thing. Hence why I think necessary evil. It's just that, at least in today's standards and realistically, ads are pretty fucking abhorrent and awful, and they're everywhere, and they're shit, and I hate them. So, I mean, because I actually do go back and look at advertisements from the 50s and 60s and even the 30s and 40s, and well, maybe not. I don't think there was ads in the 30s. Well, I think there actually were a couple, but anyway, side point. But they were actually intriguing, and they were actually interesting to watch, and actually did, in my opinion, a better job selling the products than today's ads for the most part. Very rarely do I see a good advertisement anywhere from any product. It's 5% of the time whenever something good. I mean, but just because I have this position, though, do I want to ban advertisements? No. I just think that they need to be regulated. I don't think they need to, not about how, who should be, seeing them or not, or what ads should be released or not, but just how they're structured, really. Because that's just, make it so it's just more blunt, hey, here it is, this is what we're selling, none of this weird mumbo-jumbo bullshit of just here's some heart and tug string shit, because we've regulated advertisements before. We've done that. We have done, regulations on commercial advertising and political advertising to some minor extent as well, considering that. So it's not like we can't, continue on to those type of regulations, which is what I'm in favor for, really, at the end of the day. It's going back to the regulations that we have put in place on commercial advertising and just strengthening those and enforcing them even stronger and and broadening them out and to look at advertising on the internet now, because obviously things today definitely have changed in comparison to how advertisement was back in those days when those regulations were in place. So they definitely need to be updated and minorly reformed, and that's what I'm in favor of when it comes to this type of argument at the end of the day. So, and that's why I'm against Zuckerberg or any other platform regulating what advertisements are given or not given, and they shouldn't also be complicit in people who give advertisements either. Because, as Fareed has said here, aren't platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. now seen as the public square of the internet? And yes, they are, and I do see them as that. I advocate for these platforms to either be broken up or be public utilized platforms. That's what I'm in favor of. One of the two. Let's take a pick, because obviously, especially for platforms like YouTube and Facebook, have grown far too strong for their own good and now are just such corporate messes that they're goddamn near unbearable for users and content creators, for YouTube's case, like us. So it's, this is the reason why I have such a, position that I do. We need to, we need to, at least at the very least, publicize the entire internet and telecoms industry, and then start looking at publicizing platforms that are public squares for all intents and purposes. I do view YouTube and Twitter and Facebook as public squares. Like, if you're going out on the streets and meeting some random fucking schmo, because at the end of the day, that's kind of what it is, on just a very broadened, exacerbated level that isn't face-to-face. Because now you're not just meeting some random dude in the same city as you, or maybe just traveling. Now you're seeing people from, not seeing, but now you're having people from all over the fucking world see your shit. And if that's not the public square, I don't know what is. Because, that to me is probably some of the most public square shit I've ever heard, if there is ever one. So I think fundamentally how these platforms need to be changed. They need to be, not in the sense of how they look or structure. Well, I guess for YouTube, yeah, a little bit. I like to see YouTube go back to its roots, back to those old 2006 vibes. But that's just me. But anyway, we need, these platforms need to, be in the hands for us, because it is. And, because honestly, if we just select or choose, what these platforms can, be acceptable, then all you're just going to do is create more radicalized echo chambers of the positions that you suppress. Look at Alex Jones, for example. Look at, all these people from the alt-right, and even some people from the left, too, even, where they get deplatformed and censored from YouTube and these other platforms merely for, for various different expressions. And for Alex Jones' case, I know somewhat exceptional with the whole Sandy Hook case and shit, but if it wasn't for that, and he still had his platform here, I guarantee you'd have way more followers, and I guarantee you would have way more subscribers, and he'd be a bigger platform than bigger thing than he already is, or was, I guess you can say. And I, at the end of the day, don't necessarily see that as a bad thing. He has every right to express to be on this platform and to express his crazy bullshit. I, for one, find it entertaining. I went to his channel and went to watch his shit because I found it entertaining. I didn't really take it all that seriously. Now, that doesn't mean that every now and then they'll be talking about some serious shit, but, I mean, if you took everything at face value from there, I mean, that would be a little like, okay, really, dude? But, I mean, if you didn't, then it's just entertaining. I mean, if you actually do take it at face value, obviously it's going to be, problematic when it comes to politics, and people do. And you know what? You can't help that. People are going to buy into some stupid shit because people are just dumb, And that doesn't mean they're just dumb because for the sake of being dumb. They just either weren't given information to know better, or, they're so disenfranchised they'll cling to anything to, feel like, they're in a group so they don't feel left out, essentially. And especially in this country, a lot of people feel that way. When you got poverty, the suicide rates going higher than ever, especially for people at younger ages. When you have all these factors with that pile up in this country as to when it comes to the disenfranchisement. It makes sense why people are so divided into these echo chambers. And when you deplatform people, and when you, especially on the internet and shit, and when you deplatform and censor them off these big public platforms, then you just end up radicalizing them even more and making it a problem at the end of the day even worse. And if anything, have made them grow even more just in the dark, not so more in the light. And honestly, that's why the whole idea, especially when it comes to free speech advocates, is that sunlight is the best disinfectant. And I do think it is. I really do think sunlight is the best disinfectant. Because at the end of the day, whether it's a long-term or short-term battle, the best ideas and the best cultural and societal ideas that we want to evolve from will eventually win. And you know what? If at the end of the day, if the racists win and shit, that just happens to be what the society ends up adapting to. And for me, I fundamentally disagree with that. But if for some reason that's how those cultural things evolved and adapt towards, that's just the course of how it is. But realistically, I don't see that happening. But, if anything, it's probably going to go into the other extreme, which I also don't really agree with whatsoever. And you know what? There's not much for me to personally, do about it besides just argue my ideas. That's all you can really do when it comes to these things. And if you don't have a public platform, especially on the internet, and where we don't have one, and to where we can express our ideas freely and with each other, and it could be heated, it could be angry, it could be passionate. It doesn't have to be totally civil. As long as we're having these ideas, that's all I give a shit about. And that's why, at least so far, I am 100% with Fareed on this. Because yes, we do need these type of public platforms. Because aren't they already? Because I view them as that. I'm not saying literally every single website is a public platform, but when it comes to websites like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, I see them as that. And for the argument of like what is considered a public platform website and what isn't, that's an argument for I'm willing to have, but for another day. But for right now, we at least make what is for all intents and purposes public platforms, in the books and enforced as public platforms. Because until then, we're just going to continue the same reciprocal shit.
The criticisms of Facebook are varied and many of them are valid. It has been far too lax in allowing and even promoting incendiary messages that end up provoking violence, as in countries like Myanmar and Sri Lanka. It also acts as a quasi-monopoly, snuffing out competition, which is a separate matter. Many argue that Zuckerberg is being
Hence why I'm in favor of either publicizing it or breaking them up, because they've gone too powerful where they just gobble up all the competition. Thank you, free market capitalism with no regulations.
Disingenuous when he claims that Facebook is a neutral platform open to all views equally. In fact, Facebook's algorithm promotes certain kinds of material over others, which can help spread fake news, exaggerations, and lies. Now, the algorithm encourages engagement and intensity of belief. That helps, say, stamp collectors and animal lovers get more of the content they crave. It helps Elizabeth Warren supporters see material they like, and it helps Trump-leaning voters see the stuff that excites them as well. Here's the real issue. America has become deeply polarized, and each side wants to believe the worst slander and lies about the other, and the problem is worse on the right than the left. The situation with Facebook...
I think that's like my one minor critique. I don't think it is worse on the right. I think it is actually worse on the left when it comes to like this ostracizing of like, oh, let's go after the enemy or whatever, because you really do see so much. I think this is where you do see a lot of this example of of this whole deplatforming thing. And honestly, this is why it's such an issue, because at the end of the day, you're not going to really change the fact that people are going to have their echo chambers and have their people that they're going to go to and have their people who are going to follow them and then basically do their biddings or just follow them like a little I think that's just an innate part of human nature. So there's going to be people like that. And so basically I guess what that big question is, well, what do you do when it comes to these public platforms when people are capable of doing these type of things with this and that? It's just like, well, You just kind of have to single those individuals who are instigating, basically. I mean, when it comes to these public platforms, when there are people who are like, for example, doxing or like doing shit like that, I have no issue of singling those people out and be like, hey, you're fucking up, and you're now like what you're doing is not abiding by, isn't a free speech issue, but it's now like becoming like a personal safety issue for somebody. Because doxing, unless their information isn't already publicly available, is, kind of a risk for that person. And, that's the whole reason why doxing is illegal in the first place, and it shouldn't be done. I mean, that's like one of the few things, as a few protections on the internet that we have, when it comes to illegal activities and shit. Not that really, it still happens, but at least there's still punishments for it. But this is why we need to seriously start reconsidering about what the internet is, because, our systems of government, our politicians are like, and just humans in general are just generations behind our own technology. We are just behind our own fucking technology that we are creating, because we are just like, now it's to a point where it's just like our nature, our innate like emotional nature is starting to turn against our favors in with this new field. Just look around, like the polarization, the continued divisions and tribalism that continues to happen. You see it consistently still.
Facebook is a symptom of this problem. If Facebook didn't exist, Trump supporters would listen to talk radio, watch Fox, go to other websites.
Yep. Yeah. And even if it didn't exist and they were deplatformed for it, they would still go there. That's the reason why deplatforming them doesn't work. They just go to other platforms. It's not like just because, they're gone from this platform, they didn't go away. The actual, like, literal racist, the literal Nazi, or the literal this or that doesn't go away. Your enemy or whoever you're trying to be against doesn't go away. They just move elsewhere. They're just not in your direct line of sight because your fifis just couldn't handle, seeing that. They don't go. Like my not to from my own data bus, but for him, for example, he literally listens to radio all fucking day. Like, listens to right-wing fringe radio hosts like Lars Larson and all this random bullshit, Dana Loesch, and if you don't know who they are, don't feel bad. I wouldn't know who they were if it wasn't for the fact that there is a radio in my house. Anyway, it's just, if you listen to them, it's just a bunch of random gobbledygook. And the thing is, you think it's any different if it's gonna, what's the difference if it's on an internet public platform? Wolf Blitzer, I think, like what happened if he got a YouTube channel? You know what I mean? Like, what if, like, Sean Hannity or Anderson Cooper or even Fareed Zakaria had a YouTube channel? Like, they, on their own accord, started their own personal YouTube channel, like, Fareed, Zakaria, like, the Zakaria take and shit, or something like that, and he starts his own YouTube channel or whatever. Or like the Zakarian perspective or something like that, make it, like, let's say, Zakaria wants to try, kind of fling it up a little bit, free himself out a little, and he probably won't go anywhere really. And to be fair, look at me, but, it's just like, at least, like, I'm out here still competing with fucking battle ideas, but like, what about these schmoes? They want to make it, and shit. At least there's a few schmoes out here listening. And a few drifters come by, clinging to stick. So that's all I really, care about. It's like, as long as you're listening, it's all cool. But that's the whole point. That's why I advocate for this fucking position. And honestly, think about if if the platform was a public platform. Think about if YouTube was an actual public platform. Think about where I could potentially be. Think about where all these other YouTubers who are already to have a platform or at least an audience to some extent of their own, like, a couple thousand or, 10,000 some subscribers or even 100 some subscribers, or like 100 some thousand subscribers or whatever. And think about where they could be if it wasn't for how stingent and how corporatized and how restricted, speech and expression is on this platform. Like, think about where, that potential, all the potential that could be. I mean, I could potentially not have 155 subs, or give or take, or whatever, how many is right now, but maybe 300 something, or maybe 400, or maybe I'm being too optimistic. I don't know. But, I mean, there's, considering the platform, there is always, especially with YouTube, a potential that, could have been better. And you know what? It can be. And that's why I advocate for what I do, because I think we need a platform like that. And I think most people, from what I can get, do advocate that to some extent. Maybe they're not for like a whole publication of like internet sites, like YouTube or something, but they would be in favor of like an Internet Bill of Rights, or like at least a publicization of the telecom industry, or at least, some form of regulation against this shit. I mean, at least if you're at least in favor of at least trying to mitigate and regulate this problem, I'm willing to talk. But if you're not, then fuck off.
Facebook accentuates partisanship more than it causes it. Professor Jeremy Weinstein, who teaches a blockbuster class at Stanford on computers, ethics, and public policy, explains that it makes very little sense to think that these choices about what speech is allowed and not allowed...
Uh-oh, he's a Weinstein. He's a Weinstein. Watch out, he's a Weinstein, guys.
...be made by unaccountable...
It doesn't matter now, he's a Weinstein.
...tech CEOs behind closed doors in a corporate boardroom. Companies are focused on their own bottom line, which is best catered for if they maximize engagement attachment to their platforms.
Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back just a little. I was smoking a bowl. I couldn't pause what I did there.
Maximize engagement attachment to their platforms.
Companies are focused on their own bottom line, which is best catered for if they maximize engagement / attachment to their platforms. Yeah, that sounds like what a privatized entity like a company does. Because companies, corporations... are like, what is their main focus? Their bottom line. That's always what their fucking focus will be, no matter what. Like any virtue signaling of like, oh, we care about this, oh, we are in favor of this or that or whatever, is either just bullshit or just them doing that on their own voluntary accord. But most likely it's bullshit. And that's why they just cater to what's best for them. Which is why, unfortunately, it got sites like Gab AI filled with a bunch of alt-writers and shit. And BitChute, it's because, well, platforms like this and like YouTube are catering towards a profit motive. Because it's bought by a company that is looking for, a profit motive. That's the bottom line. And currently, YouTube ain't. And that's what they're trying to do. Make it a profitable entity, which, they are going to try to make it something like fucking Netflix or something, which it is. If you look at it very slowly, that's what it's looking like. The whole YouTube original shows and shit like that, fucking channels like Will Smith popping out of nowhere, whatever the fuck, Like, they've been attempting this for some time now.
I don't want Mark Zuckerberg deciding what speech is legitimate in America.
Neither do I want Susan Wojcicki or anyone else. No one should be dictating that. No one's the fucking arbiter of what, should and shouldn't be said as for speech. Besides, like, oh, if you're in a movie theater, someone's yelling fire for whatever reason, it's just like, all right, kick your fucking ass out. But, like, besides that one, like, very rare exemptions for shit like that, there's... Who should be the fucking arbiter for stuff like that? Nobody. Because it's just going to cater to what they think should be good and what isn't good. And you know what? I might just disagree with what they don't like as speech. And if I disagree, well, sounds like my speech ain't good then. But guess what? The whole point of free speech is not to protect good speech. It's to protect the controversial. It's to protect the shocking. It's to protect the negative and outrageous speech. That's the whole point of it. That's the fundamental reason why free speech is a concept. Is to protect speech like that. Because for for generations, for a lot of the human civilization, free speech wasn't even a thing. If you said the wrong thing to the king or to your lordship, your head is off your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be on the, like, tossed in a snake pit or some shit. Like, you know, say the wrong thing and you're fucked. But that's why the whole concept of free speech became a thing. And that's why over time that evolved and developed, because people had enough of, like, hey, I just hate how shit's going on, and if I'm being suppressed for this, well, fuck that, and I'm going to revolt against it. And well, times have changed, and now, you know, we're starting to see similar forms of this type of suppression again, and people having similar sentiments. And honestly, I don't even really know who truly is or isn't for actual, like, fundamental concept of free speech, or at least the idea of it. I mean, I personally really do consider myself that, but, you know, if people think I'm not or am, whatever, you know, but I personally do consider myself a free speech advocate. But I don't really know these days who truly is or isn't, because I've talked to people who say they are, but as soon as we start talking about shit that really is controversial speech and stuff, they're oh my god, the way their tune changes is fucking kind of shocking sometimes. So it's, this is one of my very key important issues for me, because yeah, like, you know what, just because I don't like the speech that some Nazi made or some weird conspiracy nut job saying some gobbledygook that someone's buying, doesn't mean I think they should be censored. I don't. And I don't think they should be deplatformed. And I don't think, you know, they should be attacked or this or that or whatever. I mean, if you're going to do anything, counter their fucking idea. Actually argue against it, if anything. You know, and if you don't like it and it offends you so much you don't want to be around it, then just don't be around it. You know, put yourself in environments that you want to be in. Put yourself in chambers of speech and thought that you want to be around, or just don't participate in those type of discussions or ideas that where they seem to come up as topics or whatever. I don't know. You know, that onus is on you. Like, there is a sense of, like, personal responsibility when it comes to speech, but it's not so about what you really say. It's just like, if you don't like it, well, you know, then, I mean, it's not their fault that you don't like what they said. It's not their fault that they said maybe some swear words or said that, you know, a racist word or something like that. I mean, whatever, you know, argue against it. Actually have a discussion with them. Be an adult.
I want the government to set parameters for him and other technology companies as to their obligations.
Yep, that's exactly what I advocate for.
What they increasingly are. Large news platforms. There are many good ideas out there. Invoke something like the fairness doctrine, which for decades required broadcast networks to include...
That was what I was talking about earlier. I didn't have the name for it, but yeah, it's the fairness doctrine. I think we need to, like, have something like that for the internet. I mean, I was talking about this earlier.
Range of views in their programs. Ellen Weintraub, the chair of the Federal Election Commission, has a simple suggestion. Don't allow micro-targeting, serving ads to a very specific segment of the population, which stokes division and hostility and is often cloaked in secrecy. Americans feel overwhelmed in the digital era by the power of the tech giants. But Weinstein argues they distrust government even more than they do the tech companies, so they want Facebook to regulate American democracy. What we need is the opposite. American democracy should regulate Facebook.
Yep. And Kyle's basically just gonna explain in more quick sense of what I was talking about, basically. But yeah, I mean, because if, like, what happened to the whole Constitution? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to all that? Like, I mean, this is like the mentality of Americans, and I've been kind of and it's just something that I kind of had an epiphany about recently. It's that we are just willing to just sit down and take it, you know, and just meh, you know, like, so when it comes to just, like, you know, when it comes to this shit, it's just like, oh, you know, like, you know, we need to, like, look at, you know, these tech giants, you know, try to regulate, you know, what we don't like. there's a constitution, like we have a government. We have a government that you can like go to that's supposed to represent you. But, you know, but we kind of forgot what that meant, so it doesn't do that anymore. See, that's why they represent the corporations now, because honestly, like, we've just been fed some shit that just made us complicit and just kind of sit down and take it. Honestly, that's why shit don't get done. That's why if there's even attempts to get shit done, it just gets bogged down with bureaucracy, or it gets watered down and gutted over time. And it's just because, oh, well, hey, we did it. Oh, we're good. Time to sit down and relax and have our nice little cold beer and sit back and chill out and relax and have a good time. We did it, while in the background it's starting to crumble and fall apart. Like, I mean, that's just like the mentality of Americans these days. I mean, you know, this is why it's like, I mean, it goes, and this next video kind of gets into it, but I might as well change it back over here. But, you know, the next video kind of gets into it. It's just like, you know, I don't know. I think I will go into more detail with this next video, because honestly, it's also really, because this, I mean, it's from a lefty view, but it gives you the whole summary of the whole idea. Like, I'll explain why I think this is just the American mentality and the American jingo that we like to put for ourselves. And ironically, Vosh is going to kind of do that for us, I think. I think there's some points in here that he's going to be talking about. I will actually like discuss and break down. Like, I was listening to some of this, not everything, but some of it. And there's actually mixed feelings I have, so I don't know. I mean, overall, we'll have some points. We're already an hour in. Holy shit. This coffee's making me feel like I'm just been whizzing by these, but I guess not. I'm actually out of coffee now. God damn it. Anyway. Oh, man. Man, cops trying to threaten arrest. Fucking Fareed Zakaria actually saying some actually curveball good shit. I like it. Decent little take here for tonight. Got some mix of positives and negatives that we're gonna be discussing and shit, but yeah. You want us to get on to the next page here? Get ready for this. Anyway, here we are. Oh my god, man. This is just like... Okay, don't let the chat ever look like this, guys. Holy shit. Neo-Marxist? What the fuck is that? I've never heard that before. Is that just... I don't even care. I'm about to, like, start psychoanalyzing the chat. Oh my god.
Let me tell you...
Man, I have to, like, adjust the volume in these.
What exactly neo-Nazis would do, people like Richard Spencer would do,
Okay.
if they got control of American government.
Okay. All right, then.
First of all, a policy of complete isolationism would, in all likelihood, cut us off from the rest of the world through trade.
My only thing against that is the trade thing, but I'm against that whole outsourcing and exploitation that trade has. Like, when people on the right talk about, hey, we should have America first, like we should have jobs put back in America, I agree with that. And I honestly, I think you do too, Vosh. I think that's something you'd agree with. Like, I think you want, you know, Americans to have, you know, like, have a decent job and thrive in the, you know, here in our, like, I think you actually want that. I think it's just that you're against this, just when people on the right talk about it, you know, because again, it's this whole, I mean, it's what Fareed was talking about when it came to marginalization of, like, you know, selective algorithmic, you know, recommendation of, like, oh, like Warren viewers, for example, will just view stuff that's positive and good and this and that about Warren and things related about her and stuff like that. Or people who, you know, look at Joe Biden, will get all a bunch of shit that's good about Joe Biden, this and that, la la la. You know, and people on the right will get all, you know, it just go down a list. And, you know, and I think, you know, you're just, you know, just unfortunately, I mean, given that you're playing with this whole fantasy that if the Nazis, a tiny fringe minority of the country that I don't even think like is teetering even near 10%, if I had to take a stab at how many really truly are Nazis in this country, like for real though, like I mean, there's no fucking way. Like I mean, dude, I'll get into that whole jingo in a bit, but let's at least break some points down, I suppose. Man, I'm starting to notice this, like, you know, how to get away with, like, threats. It's like, look at this. You should kill yourself in Minecraft. Oh, my God. Jeez. And people wonder why they just hate the fringe left and right. Look at you fucks. Look at you crazy people, dude. You'll probably overdose on cocaine in, like, 2 years. I mean, whatever. Well, yeah, whatever.
There would immediately be barricades placed on immigration protocols, keeping people from non-white backgrounds and possibly non-Aryan backgrounds from entering the country.
Oops.
Shortly thereafter...
Okay. Oh, my God. Okay. So, my quip about this is, like, I'm not against immigration. I'm not against regulation of immigration. I'm not against borders. But this, like, I guess my main argument would be is just what's your counter argument for that? Because that's my main question for this, is because, yeah, I'm not in favor of that. I'm not in favor of, like restricting literal ethnic backgrounds. I am in favor of, like, restricting when it comes to, like, criminality, or, like, just fundamentally they won't abide by your basic law, just some basic norms and laws that are just laid down of, you know, the country that they're trying to come into. Because if, you know, it's basically like the whole premise of, like, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Because, like, if you're just there and you're just basically breaking a bunch of laws that you just aren't aware of, then, well, what the fuck, you know? Or if you are. Like, or if you're doing things that are obviously outwardly against the norms of, you know, society, that, you know, it's just like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't probably do these things. And if you're going to be outwardly advocating for these things, maybe we don't want you here. You know, I'm not against, you know, restrictions of those type of things. You know, because for example, I don't want someone who's literally a fundamentalist Wahhabist, or even a fundamentalist, like, Christian from fucking Africa or some shit, or some fundamentalist Catholic or this and that, you know, coming in and trying to espouse and push fundamentalist theocracy and, you know, and harm other people's safety with, you know, their rhetoric. Well, not rhetoric, but with their intent on against other people with their ideas. Like, you know, if like a fundamentalist Wahhabist Muslim is out in public and sees a bunch of women without any, you know, their hijabs on and shit, you know, like, to him, he's, like, liable to go ahead and beat them and shit, or whatever, and treat them unfairly, basically. Like, why would we want that type of person here? And if someone's going to, you know, like, do this type of things, regardless of what their fucking beliefs are, maybe we don't need you here, boy. Because those are totally against our fucking cultural societal norms. So, you know, that, with that being said, that basically means I'm against a total open board society. Now, I have a futuristic philosophy where I would like to see one day, you know, our world having, you know, like an ability to have some form of open borders, but that's just not realistically possible or feasible, at least not in this current climate, you know, societally, culturally, on a global perspective. Though I think, you know, it is something that is possible, and I don't think it's something, you know, like, you know, we shouldn't, like, be against or whatever. It's just that obviously we should look at the realistic perspective and know it's something we cannot achieve now. It's something that, you know, we could potentially have some groundwork structure to work towards, but that's about it. But right now, things are, like, there's so much more to look at and to attend for. So when people, you know, when it comes to immigration shit, because, yeah, when the people on the right and will make cases like, oh, you know, what about the cartels literally doing human trafficking, or, kidnapping people and doing smuggling across the border and shit. Yeah, I'm against that, but we should look at the roots of the problems of those, you know. And then if we catch these people doing that, then, you know, detain the criminals who have been doing that type of thing. And, you know, and if there's people who are rescuing shit, really, you know, get them back home and shit. But, you know, I think just because, like, oh, some random family illegally crossed the border, I don't think there should be, like, some crime or punishment for that. You know, I think, you know, so I'm kind of, like, in the middle ground when it comes to this whole immigration shit. Because, yeah, like, if we find some family that's trying to escape the violence that the cartels are doing to their village, and they escaped, and they're trying to cross the border, and we catch them, and all they're doing is just illegally crossing the border, I don't think, you know, they should just be arrested, detained, and then sent back to the village from whence they came. I think, you know, it's just like, all right, well, obviously, here's a case where you're just a family, you know, so let's send you to our immigration department just right over to the to our border crossing over here, you know, just like how many, wherever the fuck miles out and shit, you know, get some paperwork through, and, you know, let's work on a way to get you processed in asylum here, because obviously you're not a threat, you want to be here, you want to actually try to make opportunity for yourself, because that's just what you fucking want. Because I think at the end of the day, if people are trying to, like, because this is a weird cognitive dissonance about it, people on the right that I don't really get, though, is that, oh, we're a country that, you know, we're so big, proudful, you know, we want to be very prideful and patriotic for our country, but doesn't that mean that we want people to come here to, you know, take part of that? So it's like, oh, but as soon as people are doing that, even if they're doing it to some illegal sense, oh, you know, and they don't mean any ill will, they just want to have that same opportunity. It's just the process how they did it was just the illegal way, basically. Then, oh no, like, suddenly that's just the biggest issue ever. Like, you know, because I'm in, you know, because for me, it's like I can be in favor of making sure that violent criminals, people who are here to cause actual harm, you know, to people here or this and that, or do trafficking or do illegal activities, whatever have you, like, I'm okay with restricting that. And people may be potential terrorists and stuff like that. You know, I'm not against that. But, you know, so that's just pretty much why, like, I have to sit here and be like, what is your counter for this? Because I don't know if he talks about it, but I mean, when you say it that way, I can't help but disagree with it. But I don't know what your position is, Vosh. I'm sure you're probably more on the leaning of open borders, because a lot of people, mainly the fringe marginalizing left, like to advocate that. So I don't know, but that's my position against that position, so take my position for how you wish, but whatever. I just think it's just a weird... I don't really want to even... I mean, I want to say, like, the whole, like, even non-Aryan and non-whites. I want to say that's just a straw man, though, because... I mean, I've even heard people like JF say, like, oh, they make exceptions for Asians and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's just like... I mean, I've heard people on the alt-right make exceptions for races and ethnicities. It's just they literally just don't want brown or black people. Like, they just have a, you know, a specific thing against specific races. And sometimes those are even, you know, some people lump Jews and people on the alt-right will do that as well. So, I mean, you know, like... I mean, they just have a thing against certain races, which is why I just hate this whole race thing anyway. I mean, I just hate it. I just hate all of it. You know, I hate this whole, like, conversation anyway. I mean, but because it's just, I find it ridiculous. It's just like, I don't know. But either way, let's keep going. I feel like I'll just start talking in circles at this point.
The purges would begin. It would begin extra legally. Brown shirts roaming the streets, occasionally joined or ignored by police, breaking through synagogues.
Oh, wow, God. All right, I don't know if I can't. I can't help but talk about this old jingle bullshit. Replace all this dude with vouchers like the brown shirts are gonna be coming. Like, replace a lot of that with, like, some of the whole Christian rhetoric of, like, the liberals are going to be coming to take us over, the communist stubble. Like, look, Vosh, you're playing the same fucking game these people are, dude. The same people you're going up against, y'all playing the same fucking game, dude. Like, y'all have this weird jingoistic idea of, like, oh, we're gonna rise, the enemy's gonna rise up, do a coup and do literal purges, this, that, blah, blah. Like, oh my god, fucking just grow up a little bit, like really, like this is just so ridiculous, like how, like, how. I'm legitimately like wondering how in the fuck that can even happen. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, how do you fundamentally get from like Trump won this, that, blah, 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 whatever, and then like, oh, now the brown shirts are going to be coming. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen any of them. Like, I know this is just a whole big if for you, but this is just because it's just a whole fantasy for you, dude. Like, because that ain't going to happen, and it won't. None of this shit's going to happen. This whole weird, like, oh, America's going to go in civil war, or we're going to do a coup, the enemy's going to do this or that, the commies or the Nazis, this and that. It's like, oh my god, it's just so, it's ridiculous. Like, there's not going to be no fucking dumb purge. Oh my god, it's just so stupid. It's just a fucking dumb fantasy. This is why Americans just sit down and take it, because they get complicit in this whole like dream state fantasy jerk off sesh of just like, oh yeah, we're gonna think about civil war, and I'm gonna be going out there as the commissar, with my PPSH and my AK in my other hand, and going charging in as a bayonet charge, both guns in hand, just like. My God, it's like, Jesus. And then for the other side, it's like, I'm going to go out there, my M16 and a minigun in their hand. All right, let's do this shit. Hell yeah, God bless George Bush and Reagan. Yeah. It's just like, oh my God. Grow the fuck up, you man children.
Breaking down businesses that have those "We support you" LGBT stickers outside the windows, a lot of people would die. This exact same thing happened in Nazi Germany. It would happen here.
Yeah, but Nazi Germany at that time had two like major political parties: the Communist Party and the National Socialist Party, the National Socialist Workers' Party of Germany. So both of them were pretty much in competition with each other to some sense. When it came to power. When Hitler was leader of the National Socialist Party, basically. So, like, that's not, like, to say that this will, quote, exactly happen, you would have to basically equivocate the Republican Party as Nazis, and they're not. The Republican parties are just a bunch of neocon, status quo, corporate shills that are just continuing the status quo along with the neoliberal corporate Democrats, because they're both sides of the same dumb coin of the same establishment system, which are encouraging a lot of the tribalistic divide and conquer tactics that you are complicitly being active in right now. So it's just so fucking dumb. It's like this whole idea that like, oh, it will literally happen here. Like, no, it's fucking not. Like, Mitch McConnell don't have no fucking secret brown shirt with a fucking swastika armband hiding in his closet. Well, maybe he does. I don't know. But, like, I mean, he ain't going to be going out doing no fucking, like, breaking into shit. Like, good lord. He ain't going to be, like, there ain't going to be no order. There ain't going to be no executive order. Like, good lord. It's been 3 years, dude. Like, if it hasn't happened now, when? What, his second term?
When the population
when he loses, or something, like when?
Gets
Never
riled up enough, if
like,
there's absolute
people thought that like Obama was like literally Hitler and that he was gonna have FEMA camps and shit like that and all this and that, but lo and behold, that never happened. It's just like this is the same jingoistic bullshit that we can't like. It's just whoever's president, whoever's in power, will just throw the most abhorrent shit against the other side, and just get to. It's just the same thing. Like we could a lot of these whole like protests I've been seeing in America, at least, remind me of the whole like Tea Party shit, where it's just like, we're going up against this, but then just fizzles off and it's just nothing but just like, and just fumbles off into nothingness. it's just so oh my god, it's just this jingoistic bullshit. I just find it so funny, but when I really start dissecting it, it just starts to really wear me the fuck out.
No threat of the police coming down on them, which there would not be. Let me tell you, the police would not have much of an issue with a white supremacist America.
Okay, they wouldn't have issue. Okay, minus the second point. The first point, they wouldn't have an issue with all the breaking of. They don't like. Let me just talk about it with Portland at least. Like Portland police, whenever there's been actual violent riots that have happened here, regardless if they're Antifa or Proud Boys, Antifa being the left and Proud Boy being right, they've both done property damage. Both of them have, and for the most part, they tend to get away with it. So. Both of them do, and they just pit it against each other and this and that. He said, she said, bullshit. So it's just like, I mean, chances are, yeah, they probably would, because it tends to happen regardless whenever these fucking riots and shit happen. So irrelevant.
As if they haven't already for the past 200 years. A lot of people would die. You would probably die, assuming that you're not like me. I would die, by the way, because I'm queer and a leftist. If you're not straight, you can expect camps to be built, and you will be sent to them. If you're not white...
Oh my god, this fucking fear-mongering, dude. This fucking fear-mongering, oh my god. Can we just move on from this?
You can expect camps to be built, and you will be sent to them. You will not be deported.
Here's that whole thing with like Obama FEMA camp shit. Here's the other side of the coin doing the same thing. Oh, they're gonna build camps for the gays, building camps for non-straights and gays and stuff. Here's the same thing, just different rhetoric with it. Hey, what do you know? I was kind of right.
From this country. There are not other countries across the world that are willing to take the burden of 200 million political refugees from America. There are not places, there are not homes, there is not...
And I don't blame them. Like, honestly, like, who would want, like, millions of Americans coming into their country, for real, though? I'm an American, born and raised here, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I had to come in as a refugee into, like, Germany or something, or Norway, like, would they really want me? Would they really? Probably not.
Money for countries across the world to fit them in their borders. But you know what there is room for 200 million people? Mass graves. It's not being hyperbolic, They did the same thing before, less than 100 years ago. And the people who today call themselves alt-right, neo-Nazis, Christian nationalists, identitarians, or white nationalists, all claim the same legacy of thought. They all admire the same people. They all want the same policies. Mass graves, concentration camps, we could get away with all of it. And unlike Nazi Germany, America's...
Oh my god, you know what? Yeah, alright. If it's just literally continuing the same shit, whatever. I thought there was more to it, because I skipped through here, and I went, like, near the end, and then it just ended up... Whatever, alright. Okay. He's just gonna... Come on, man. Really? Like, just what fucking fear-mongering. Like, that's not gonna... None of that's ever... Oh, someone in the chat was in here was like, that's bullshit, Vaush. Vaush. Ouch. Vaush. Anyway, whatever. More identity politics bullshit. This is actually the last little thing, so I'm going to, get my zbo loaded for one more little time and enjoy myself, because oof. Oof, oof, oof. Boy, oh boy, are these just fun. Man, like, I've seen some of Vouch's content, and, I mean, like, I don't know. I really have such mixed feelings about him. I just think he's, honestly, you could tell from this clip, I think, at the end of the day, he's just kind of grifty. Grifting to the whole, left, at least the hardcore left of, like, these, where they're like, oh, they're going to do this and that, build camps, do a coup, the brown shirts are going to come back, the little swastika, flag of Nazi Germany will be flying instead of the American flag. Like, they have this dumb fantasy, just like, the right has about Obama back in those times, when he was president. It's just like, it's the same fucking shit, and it's just not going to, it's just like, which side of the coin is going to do it this time? you know. And right now it's just the left doing it, and pretty much it's going to be the right once, you know, a lefty's in there, you know. So it's just, I just find it so ridiculous. I really do, because it's just like, come on, grow the fuck up. Like, honestly, this next clip kind of bring this Vaush clip. I don't even know how you specifically say it. Vaush? 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 I don't know, dude. What fucking name is it, man? Just tell me how to pronounce it, you know, and I won't sound like an asshole about it, okay? If we ever meet Vaush. I think it's Vaush. I don't know. Vaush? Is it like Vaush or something? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, just have that loaded there for now. Just go back to main screen. Boom. So, this is Benjamin Dixon, and honestly, he kind of does some of the same thing here with the whole like identitarian politics. I mean, but honestly, he actually will kind of make it a little bit of a point. But anyway, let's listen into it. You know, I'll speed it up a little bit because this is actually going to be one of the longer videos we're listening to here. I just love how we got the booty judge all shrunk up like a pencil.
I don't know if I want to have this fight, only because, you know, there's so many fights to fight. But I think it's necessary, right?
I don't know if I want this fight, only because there's so many fights to fight.
Yesterday, I tweeted out the following. I said, progressive commentators still telling you that identity politics don't matter are going to help you lose this election. And this concludes my TED Talk. The Amazing Atheist, I don't know if you were familiar. I don't even know if he still does work. I don't follow his channel. I used to like him back in the early 2000s, 2008, somewhere around there. I used to really like his work because, you know, as a skeptic, as a Christian skeptic, I'd always loved it.
Wait, what? Christian skeptic? That's an oxymoron. I'm trying. Okay. So I wish I had a camera because I have a jar that normally will hold weed. I have a lid here, but this lid doesn't fit the jar. It doesn't actually like close in on it. You know, it kind of like slides around on the top of it and shit. I don't think that's right. You know what I mean? I think you need to find a different lid to fill that jar, you know, or to seal the jar, you know what I'm saying? What? Like, huh? Okay, whatever. You do you, boo.
Hearing rational arguments against Christianity. I just did. Don't ask me why. Even though I've still stayed a Christian, I used to love his work because he, for a while there, had some really good arguments. Then he just kind of fell off. But
so if you had okay, this is just a side point, but if you had really good arguments, so how come you're still a Christian then? If you had, evidently to you, his arguments must have not been good because you're still a Christian. So why are you still a Christian if his arguments are good? See, the reason why I'm not, I actually did not need the Amazing Atheist T.J. Kirk for me to come to this conclusion. But for me, it was just like, I just kind of took a look at it face value, and then I kind of started thinking about it and kind of realized it's gobbledygook. So, you know, it took me just some thinking, you know? It took me some realizing that there's no outside force manipulating my world around me and shit to realize that, oh, yeah, you know, the world's nihilistic, existential nihilism and utter cold callousness showed me that. So, I mean, it didn't take much to really prove that. So, how come you are then at that point? I guess would be my question as the counter for that. Is why, like, what's this weird Christian skeptic or skeptic Christian or whatever? Like, what? What the fuck does that mean? That it just doesn't mean anything. Like, you're just a Christian. That's just culturally like, man, I kind of am. It's like, whatever, dude.
anyway, this was his reply. He said, identity politics are toxically bad for the left, as polling data shows that the majority of people from all walks of life detest political correctness. No one wants a let's all walk on eggshells candidate. Okay.
And could be my bias, but I just happen to agree with that. Want to just hear one tiny little bit more time just to make sure we all got that? I'll put it down to normal speed because I know some of you are like, what the fuck? Why is it so fast?
Identity politics are toxically bad for the left, as polling data shows that the majority of people from all walks of life detest political correctness. No one wants a let's all walk on eggshells candidate. Okay.
And actually, you know what? Does he sort? Damn. I was kind of hoping that he would have had like the source of the tweet, because then I could have, because I think TJ shared a study with that, and it did show amongst every race, Hispanics, blacks, whites, Asians, etc., all detest identity politics. So to say that you need identity politics in order to win just is not right. It's just not true. At least what you are probably thinking of when it comes to identity politics. Because honestly, like, all politics to some extent has identity politics in it. So like to some extent. So it's just like, what? It's just like, I don't know. We'll let him explain a little more, because he actually, I think, in this will make an argument about this, if I remember correctly.
First and foremost, this is a disingenuous argument, because he seamlessly conflates identity politics with political correctness.
Why shouldn't they be conflated? I think they should be. Why? Like, because I think all the time when you see political correctness, it comes with a background of identity politics. It's like, oh, you're being politically correct when you say, you're being politically incorrect when you don't say this or that or whatever. Be politically correct, There's identity politics with it. There's, a label that needs to, that was misused and needed to be corrected. So thus, there is identity politics. So they should be, and I think are, in conflation of with each other. So, no, not disingenuous. That is a very genuine argument. Comes to a very rational backing, I believe. So, I don't know. I would think that they are very well able to be conflated with each other.
And I have to preface this with this. I can understand why it would be uncomfortable for white people in this country to have to take a moment to take into consideration the plight of everyone else.
Okay. I think it's just because I have basic human empathy as to why I take time to consider everyone else's plight. Like, I take time to think about other white people's plight. Same thing with black people. Same thing with Asians. Same thing with same thing with random indigenous groups in the middle of some fucking jungle that, for all intents and purposes, I really don't need to give a fuck about. But, that's just because I have a basic human empathy, honestly. It's just like, hey, I think everyone, should be able to have the opportunity to be comfortable, and strive to at least, make a little more of themselves than what they already got, whatever. It's just from a basic background underlying thing. It's not because I have this sense of like, oh, it's my whiteness and stuff. Oh, because I don't play this form of identity politics. I don't play that. I'm against that form of identity politics just on that notion alone, because it's like, what does my literal fucking skin color have to do with that? It doesn't. Like, granted, my personal experience would be different, but if I was black, and I had the same like, let's say I had the literal same background in life and everything, and I just happen to be black, or happen to be Asian, or this or that, I would still have the same philosophy. I would still have the same view if I was just me, still just happen to be black, or this or that, or whatever. But, I don't know that because I can't put myself in that type of shoes. I can't put myself in the shoes of, like, a black person or even another white person or just any human being, because we're individuals. We are trapped in our own selves, in our own shells of our own bodies. Like, we can't truly get to know how it is to be another person. So that's why it can be easily detachable sometimes for us to be from people. I mean, and hence why I think, a lot of people, when they see someone who's totally different from themselves, they're like, whoa, especially if they haven't seen them before. I mean, it's just like, wait, whoa, you're totally different than what I'm used to, because I'm all I know, and just the people around me and shit, so it comes from just, being the individual that we are in the environment that we're around that causes that. It's a causation. We can't truly understand how it is to be, because because obviously you don't know what it's like to have, the white experience, or whatever you want to call it, Benjamin. But, and that's a fair point, to say, oh, yeah, in a way, at least, to my experience, whatever might seem privileged. But honestly, bro, like, if if we really want to use, the whole race of white privilege argument won't make sense between you and I, Benjamin, if you and I were in the same room, Dixon, because you are in a higher status than I would be. So if anything, you have more privilege than I would, despite the fact that I'm white and you're not. So there is a sense of, so there isn't privilege just because of my race, but because there's a privilege of class. And is that a form of identity politics? Yes. And those are the type of identity politics I think we should be focusing on, is the problems and the issues of class, because there is this serious disenfranchisement and serious income inequality between the middle and lower classes, and it should be talked about, and I don't think it is enough. So, when it comes to identity politics, I'm not, inherently against it. It's just that what is this identity politics that we're talking about? Is it something that actually is, a reflection of what's actually happened in our reality, or on a whole broad scale? Or is it just something that we feel because it was something that we were told or taught and grew up with or fed or whatever, this and that, yada, yada. So, I mean, or just, thought, or whatever, just because of for whatever reason, So, I mean, at that point, it's just like, which is it?
America's default position is identity politics for white people.
Okay.
Don't believe me? Okay, I know I play it all the time, but here's the evidence.
But do you understand?
Bill O'Reilly. Okay. So, as soon as I heard that he said America's default position, it was bullshit. America doesn't have a default position. I think just me merely talking at the fact that there's so much political divisions of identity politics shows that. So, you're just fucking wrong on this, regardless of this fucking argument that you're pushing here. Anyway, let's hear Bill O'Reilly's little thing.
What the New York Times wants and the far left want, they want to break down the white Christian male power structure, of which you're a part, and so am I.
Now, what's hilarious about...
Okay, well, the thing is, if you're saying, if that was, the main arguments of, or, the main point of, the Fox News or something, sure. Because, Bill O'Reilly wasn't the only one that's talked about this type of shit before. There was also, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson. There was a few others I'm kind of forgetting the name of. But they all, to some extent, have expressed, on Fox Friends too even. They expressed these type of things before. So, yeah, if you're saying that, sure. I will be like, all right, yeah, I can see your point. I don't think you'd be 100% correct, but I think you would at least have a point, so, but you didn't do that. You said it was America, that, had that as their, as, the main foundational point, and, in today's America, there's not much of a foundational point to it right now. It's kind of a little bit of a chaotic mess.
this. That was Bill O'Reilly speaking to Senator John McCain, who was a presidential candidate at the time. So this wasn't even a big deal. This was on Fox News. This didn't even get a separate headline, right?
Why would it? Why? Something like that really, whatever.
Right? Because it's so common. It's such common knowledge. Everybody knows that America's power structure is that of white Christian men. Now, what's hilarious about this is that people like Kyle Kalinske and TJ, the amazing atheist, they know that there is an identity that they fight against all the time. They fight against the identity politics of Christians, right? And they're fighting on behalf of atheists and agnostics in this country who are on the receiving end of.
I don't like if you know TJ Kirk for like worth your salt, he doesn't fight or do anything on the behalf of anybody. He doesn't care. He just does shit for his own thing. He just does it because he likes to do it. So like he's not fighting on behalf of atheists like me, man. He's not like, I just happen to follow his content and love his content and find him insightful and shit because I just happen to be that, and also I just find his views intriguing and very interesting, especially when it comes to nihilism and existentialism and his philosophy on identity politics and various things of the like. So I mean, you know, he doesn't fight on behalf of me. I just happen to like his views and then look at his views and extrapolate it with to some extent and towards my views and integrate it into my own, you know, and just meld his views within mine, you know, and so he's not doing that on behalf of anybody. And if I had a bunch of audience members that was doing the same shit or whatever, I wouldn't be fighting on behalf of anybody either, really. Like, I'm just doing this because I like doing it. I'm not doing this on the behalf or the behest of anybody. Like, y'all here on your own accord, and I'm here on my own accord. So there you go. I mean, yeah. So, like, you know, and same thing applies, at least to TJ. With Kyle, no comment on him. He barely really kind of puts out his own personal things besides his usual commentaries, so I can't comment. But, you know, with TJ, at least, you know, I follow him long enough and, you know, closely enough to where I could think, yeah, you know, I can get an idea about what he is actually about. And, well, same thing with Kyle, but, you know, because TJ does live streams like I have done and, you know, talks of his chat, you know, is pretty close-knit with them in his community, you know, so, you know, like, I kind of get about what he just is, you know, as a personality. Way more so than Kyle as a personality, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And he's just not that. So I just, what's this conflation, man? Like this, like, I mean, this is the type of identity politics that I'm kind of against here, is what you're talking about. And this conflation of, like, white Christian men, like, most of the powerful just happen to be white and Christians, but usually it's just because the power of Christianity in this country is used as a manipulative tool to swindle a lot of Christians in this country, because my problem with Christianity isn't this whole power structure it holds. I mean, it is a little bit, but it is that it's stupid gobbledygook. It's nonsense. It's an old, like, religious faith that was influenced by other paganistic faiths over centuries and centuries and centuries, and is still continuously, you know, adapting and manipulating itself into modern society, just like it did back then. But, you know, like, I mean, it's not those are my issues. It's not that the fact that it's white Christian males. It's the fact that Christianity itself is dumb, and the people in power happen to be, well, people in corrupt power that are manipulating the status quo for their own personal gain. So that's my main issue with it.
That identity politics that are being played against the rest of America who aren't Christian. Their entire platforms, Secular Talk, The Amazing Atheist, they have built entire platforms out of fighting against that identity that is at the core of America's political structure, Christianity. and right on.
All right. Right on.
Absolutely. I love listening to TJ. As a Christian skeptic, like I said, I love listening to it. So it's not that they can't see that identity politics matter and that they themselves have been on the receiving end of a particular identity. They see it. They've built entire platforms off of it. What they don't want to see is the other two parts of that trifecta.
I mean, this is kind of where I have the mixed feelings because, yeah, like, I mean, when it comes to the whole identity of, like, atheism or, you know, my post-capitalistic ideas, those are a form of identity politics. Like, being post-capitalist is an identity is like an identity of a political position. So, identity politics. And same thing with atheism. Like, that is a form of identity politics. I mean, the thing is, when it comes to, at least for me personally, my atheism, like, I don't make it a point and a priority in my politics. I just make it a part of it, but it's not a priority aspect of it. Like, you don't see me going around saying, like, we should remove God we trust off of all the currency because I'm offended. We should be removing, you know, like, everything God, you know, like, you don't see me going around doing that. Like, I would, you know, I'd prefer those type of things, like, that we don't have, like, in God we trust or whatever, because honestly, that, like, the whole in God we trust on our currency wasn't implemented until, like, the Cold War era, around, like, the 60s, 70s or something like that. So, I mean, you know, like, all these various different, like, Christian aesthetic things that were implemented in our government were just added in later on as from the foundations of what the initial secularized aspect or the secularized forms of a government were initially founded from. So I am in favor of removing those things, but should it be a priority? No, because when it comes to the broader aspect of our country, I'm looking at what should be a priority. And when it comes to healthcare, infrastructure, stuff like that, you know, in comparison to, like, should, you know, in God we trust be off the currency, or let's pick another identity political position, like, should transgenders have, like, this bathroom and this bathroom or whatever. I'm going to pick the healthcare. I'm going to pick the infrastructure projects that we should be working on. I'm going to pick all that because those should be the priority. Like, and, you know, when it comes to the wealth income inequality and the marginalization of lower income and middle class people on a broad aspect, which people who are black, minorities, transgender, whoever, all suffer from, then, you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to go for that. Because I'm looking at things that at the end of the day are going to try to end up help out people across the board, not just some identity in some, you know, group that I'm a part of, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, regardless of what group you are or aren't a part of, I think, you know, we should at least have some bare essentials that we should be focusing on.
White Christian men trifecta. They want to see the problem with the Christian side of the identity, but they don't want to acknowledge the white male part of that trifecta of power structure in this country.
Well, what about the strong influence of Christianity in the black community then? You know, like, I mean, I find Christianity across the board as an issue. Like, I mean, what, you want me to just start saying that then? At least if you, I know it's not directed towards me, but, like, if we're going to play this game, we can, you know? I mean, I just am not in favor of these stupid fucking games because I'm just going to throw it in every shade, in every angle. Like, I'm just going to do it as an absurdist aspect, if anything, because it's a stupid game, and I'm going to call it out. Like, when it comes to race identity politics and stuff like that, that's what I'm against. Like, when or SJW or, you know, right-leaning, when it comes to these specific echo chamberistic identity politics, instead of, like, a more broader aspect of, like, looking at, you know, the broad identity politics of what affects most, if not everybody, instead of just our specific little groups, you know. And it's not to say that, you know, certain, you know, these groups shouldn't have their own, you know, personal little interests and stuff, like, you know, the LGBT and transgender people, and, you know, and, like, you know, people who are black or whatever, you know, I don't mind that they have their own personal, like, special interests and need for their communities and therefore whatever. Like, they can have their, you know, issues on top of the broad issues, you know. It's just that understand what the priority is on the national and the state levels. And it's not these stupid identity politics issues that where I would assume you're all advocating for. Because when it comes to identity politics, what I'd advocate for, it's looking at the whole broad aspect of what's happening towards, the broadest populace. And, and then I look at the identity politics of what the Vox Populi want, and when people want better healthcare and better infrastructure and this and that, and go down the whole fucking 9-yard list of what most Americans, like 70+% of Americans, are all in favor of, give or take. Like, those are the type of identity politics I'm going to be looking at. Because, like at this point, like single-payer healthcare is kind of a form of identity politics at this point on a broad sense. And it is being used by that. Corporate shitheels are using it as a form of identity politics to swindle a lot of progressive votes against people like Bernie who actually are trying to push that as an actual issue. And it's a double-sided sword. On one side, it does kind of help, move that position more left. But at the same time, it just, makes it more of a rhetorical virtue position of identity politics instead of an actual, let's try to fix this for everybody position of identity politics, if that makes sense. Like, because... you could try to, because you could try to escape this whole identity politics perspective, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be there, and, it's just like, you can't take it too far. It can't go so far where your emotions override what you think about a whole broad sense of politics, because this conflation of like, oh, it's the whites, or oh, it's the blacks, or oh, it's the commies, or oh, it's the Nazis, or oh, it's this, or oh, it's that. Like, we can't, it's not, these type of conflations, I mean, and it is me too. When I say, oh, it's the establishment status quo, government that's, fucking us over all, over and over. Like, I mean, it, like, it is kind of a form of conflation, though, it's just like, you have to just look at what it really is, and then, go attack that. And to me, it really is, that's why I do conflate, at least, because I do think it, at least this time, at least for this one, is a genuine conflation that should be merited, just like with identity politics and political correctness from earlier, where it's just like, all right, well, let's move into the position of like, oh, well, oh, wow, I just totally blanked out. Holy shit. Well, I just totally lost my train of thought. God damn it. That's what happens when you just go ranting and raving. Good, that's what happens. Well, let's hear a little more. Wow. Okay.
Bottom line, period. In the discussion. Why? Because they're white men. Now, like I said before, I can understand how it may be difficult, how it is absolutely difficult for you to be a white person in this country and to actually have to pause and take in consideration that you have a position in this country that other people are not privileged to have.
But I'm not. At least for me personally, I'm not. And this is why, I think this is where I remember where my thought was. It was about this whole conflation with this whole, like, argument of, like, white. This is like, because, these type of conflations are just ridiculous and absurd. Like, to be like, oh, I mean, if you just, like, took, like, a glance at my, quote, privilege, it don't look good, my friend. It don't not look good. It's just like, it's not, I would not call it the most obscene privileged of society. I mean, but this is why this whole conflation of identity politics needs to just, like, the whole conversation of it just needs to shift. This is why the whole conflation between, like, identity politics towards the establishment and the status quo should be conflated with each other, because that's what the whole issue is. People all over this country, whether they're black, white, gay, straight, whatever, are affected by the whole establishment. Whether they're homeless, whether they're just barely making it, or just barely on the poverty line, they all are affected by these politics that have made this continuous, complicit status quo. So if we're going to use the argument of, like, we should be talking about the identity politics of what the establishment has been doing against us and this and that or whatever, then sure, when it comes to the class warfare, I would definitely be, on board with that. But if we're going to be using it for, like, race reparations, or, like, open borders, or this and that or whatever, or, let's go after the Nazis and this and that, then I'm just rejecting that wholeheartedly and utterly, because it's just absurd. And those should not be conflated, and they shouldn't even be priorities whatsoever, because they really aren't. They aren't whatsoever.
and that there's a power structure, like Bill O'Reilly said, that is created and caters to you.
Nope.
And as a result, there are unique problems that were created by that power structure for which you are a beneficiary.
Oh my God. This is where the whole identity politics is, like, this is where you are blinded by identity politics, bro. And this is what happens when people are so disgusted by it and reject it wholeheartedly. Because if this is what it is, yeah, people do and will and are going to reject it. And I am too. Because it's just ridiculous. Like, just because, like, granted, if that power structure existed, and even if I was a beneficiary, I would not like it anyway, because I don't want a power structure of a form like that. I don't want any power structure like that. I don't want any, like, identitarian power structure that's like Christian or Islamic or black or this or that, suppressing, one group or the other. I'm in favor of, like, everyone equally having some sense of, like, hey, let's all, like, have some sense of, like, we can have opportunities equally. Yeah. Like, we burp. Like, we might not be able to, like, get, like, a mansion or nothing. We might not even be able to get, like, a nice big old house, but, we might get a nice little, small little cottage or whatever, And, we got a nice little setup for ourselves. We got a nice little whatever, Got way better than we had that little studio apartment and shit, when we first started out. It's like, it's like at least having, like, the opportunities to where you want to get for yourself, because for some people, they just want that little cottage, out in the middle of nowhere or whatever. Some people want to have, like, a big old a big old, maybe not a mansion. I mean, everyone wants a fucking mansion, let's be real. But, like, I mean, some people, want to try to get all that, like, hey, let's, get that big old home that, we always wanted, with a big old plot of land and this and that. I think people should have the ability to at least strive to have and try to at least achieve those opportunities. But this entire system that is put in place rejects those type of opportunities. And when it comes to talking about those identity politics, then sure, I'm willing to have that conversation. But when it comes to these type of identity politics, whether it's from the left or the right, I'm just going to reject it because I think it's just absurd, ridiculous, and not worth your time. So, I don't know. I think TJ did an Abandoned Hope on this, and I think he actually probably released it on his channel, maybe. I don't know, but he probably had some points that I didn't talk about and stuff too. So, I mean, if let me go see if he did, because I know he uploaded some segments of his Abandoned Hope on there. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm making it such a big deal, but yeah. Wow, he's all the way at the bottom. Nah, not yet. It was just TYT's Brain Dead Joker review. And by the way, that was Brain Dead. But, yeah, anyway, whatever. But if he ever does, I'd recommend checking that out on his channel. But anyway, I think I'll smoke this last little bowl, call it good for now, because the winds in my sails have drifted off into nothing, and I've flown off into oblivion. And, wow, we kind of went on for quite some time, y'all. 2 hours. Jesus. Just for how many videos? Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like, what, 6? Only, like, 5 or 6 videos? Damn, y'all. That actually was kind of a decent chunk amount of time. Oh, Flash Friday's on, too. Hell yeah. I'm gonna pop that on right now. I'm literally gonna listen to it as I wrap this up. As I smoke my bowl and shit. You might have, like, figments of the hearing of it. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get flash fried. Get it? Haha. I'll see myself out. Audio attached. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that swiggity old joke. Oh, you guys can barely hear it. I have it in my earbuds. Doing some beer commitment conversations. Well, I love it. Anyway, I got my last bowl. I'm going to listen to some Flash Fried, and I hope you all enjoy my little take, because I'm going to listen to these neckbeards do their take. I should probably unclog the bowl really quick before I commit because I don't want to like burn all this and not actually get it. You know what I'm saying? That would be a bummer. That would be a major bummer. I wonder what type of news. I wonder what type of news they're going to be discussing. I wonder what type of news that I could have discussed before them. Yeah, but I didn't do any articles, so I don't know. I want to change up a little bit, just do some videos and stuff. But anyway, enough talk. I'm going to be running away now. I'm going to try to round it up to 2 hours and 10 minutes exact. All right, got it. Boom. See ya.